folks, it's the Creepy Kentuckian here with you again from Dead Pit Radio. Today we are taking a look at a brand new limited edition 4K release from our good friends over at Arrow Video. It's a sequel that not a lot of people really discuss. This is one of those series that has a ton of sequels at this point. And still to this day, of all the movies that they made in this series, none of those sequels really get respect. But the one that we're taking a look at today deserves your respect. And we're talking about the Tremors series. It began in 1990. Not a huge hit theatrically. It took a few years to get the cult fan base going on. You got Kevin Bacon. You got Reba McEntire. You got Fred Ward. You got Michael Gross from Family Ties. It's a great cast. Their ensemble cast of characters with the original Tremors movie, which went on over the years become a big cult sensation. A lot of people love them some Tremors. Anyway, today we're not talking about the first Tremors. We're talking about the highly underrated, underappreciated sequel, Tremors 2, Aftershocks. The original plan for Tremors 2 was a big budget sequel to the original movie. But as time went by, Kevin Bacon was wanting to take on more serious roles. Didn't have much of an interest in Tremors 2. Reba McEntire was on a huge tour at the time. Would have filmed Tremors 2, but didn't have time to do so. The studio at the time was like, what in the fuck can we do with Tremors 2 without Reba and Kevin Bacon, boss? What can we do? So they're like, let's stick our toes in the water of the direct-to-video sequels. And this was a huge thing throughout the early to mid-90s. And funny enough, this movie was shot in 1994, not released until 96. So it was kind of lingering around back there before it finally received the VHS release. So this is an interesting choice, guys, for our friends at Arrow to do a full-fledged box set, 4K limited edition, posters, booklet, and all that good shit included here. 4K treatment for Tremors 2 Aftershocks. A lot of people were kind of surprised, pleasantly surprised at the treatment that Arrow's given a movie like this, which, overall has pretty good ratings. Everyone kind of likes it. But at the same time, it was a direct-to-video movie. And typically, a movie like that isn't one that Arrow would do the full-fledged limited edition treatment to. But it's pretty cool that they did. Today we're going to take a look at this 4K limited edition from our good friends over at Arrow Video. And we're going to take a look at the movie. Let's get into it. 1996, Tremors 2 Aftershocks. This movie is set in Mexico. Fred Ward returns as Earl Bassett and is paid major money by an oil tycoon to capture graboids who've been taking out workers at the refinery. With the help of a new sidekick played by Christopher Garton, a flirtatious scientist played by Helen Shaw, not to mention his old pal from Tremors 1, Burt Gummer, played by Michael Gross, who Earl ends up calling for help. The gang is about to learn that the graboids, they have evolved, mutated, multiplied. They're deadly as ever, and they're ready to kill. Simple enough plot. This was interesting because it's a very low-budget movie. They ended up doing this movie for like $4 million, and you can kind of tell in certain areas, there's some early CGI effects in this that have not aged well. They look pretty awful in 4K. However, the creature effects in this is actually really, really good. They couldn't go all out full force like they did with the original Tremors, but through the story, they mutated the graboids, right? So a lot of the graboids are like mini grabbers, is what I like to call them. I don't know. where, they can pull it off with a smaller budget. They don't have to have one gigantic graboid. They've got like a bunch of little ones, which is fun. The cast actually does pretty good together. The only one that I really didn't get into was Christopher Garton's character. He's kind of like a super fan of Earl's and one of those know-it-alls, graboid super fan or whatever. I just didn't think he worked out. Of all the cast, that was the one that kind of stuck out like a sore thumb. And he didn't work. He was like Kevin Bacon's replacement in this movie. But this movie's a lot of fun if you're into B monster movies and stuff like that. My wife was like captivated by this movie, just how hokey and fun it is. Gory. I don't want to say gory, but it's like gratuitously nasty stuff in it with the creatures and everything. And just a whole lot of fun. I mean, this is a perfect sequel to Tremors, in my opinion. It's similar to the first, but they changed it up enough to make it a worthy sequel. Now, the ones after this, who's to say? We'll have to wait and see. But, for a Tremors sequel, Aftershocks, it's actually really a pretty killer movie. All right, guys, so let's talk about the edition itself. This sexy-ass box set looks fantastic side by side with the original Tremors 4K UHD Limited Edition. The artwork kind of goes with that. Instead of orange, it is green. Now, from what I understand, the Arrow Video site has an orange version that matches perfectly with Tremors 1. If you're really, really OCD, like our buddy Born to Be Rad, you may want to check that out. You got a big thick booklet in there, posters, all that good stuff, loaded up with special features. Let's talk about some of the stuff that's included. Trailers for Tremors and Tremors 2, an image gallery, the making of Tremors 2, an on-set featurette with the cast and crew, outtakes. There is a newly filmed interview with CGI supervisor Phil Tippett called Critical Need to Know Information. Graboid Go Boom, a newly filmed interview with the special effects designer Peter Chesney. There is 2 brand new feature-length commentaries, one with Jonathan Melville, the author of Seeking Perfection, the unofficial guide to Tremors. The other with director and co-writer S.S. Wilson and co-producer Nancy Roberts. This transfer is a 4K restoration from the original negative by Arrow Films and was supervised by the director. Transfer on this thing is glorious, man. It looks great. I'm 100% positive this movie has never looked better than this Arrow 4K edition. A lot of people say this is the best direct-to-video sequel of all time. Could be the case. It's a hell of a lot of fun. Tremors 2 Aftershock is out now. Check it out. Be sure to check us out. We're over at deadpit.com. Thumbs up.
Up your butt.
Like, subscribe. And if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? And it'll notify you anytime that Dead Pit puts up new shit.
Or don't. I really don't give a fuck. If you do
I want you to. I want you to.
I don't care.
Let's keep our community growing here on YouTube.
I don't like it. I don't want you to do nothing.
Listen, they need to do that now.
No, don't you dare touch it.
Thumbs up. Subscribe. And click that bell.
There's all kinds of wonderful shirts over at shop.deadpit.com. Simply the best horror shirts. On TeePublic, there are others, but they all suck. You can get some Dead Pit radio shirts. You can get Last South on the left. The Hills Have Eyes. Texas Chainsaw. Oh, wait, you can't say Texas Chainsaw. All kinds of shirts, folks. You're gonna love them. Shop.deadpit.com.
Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. Dead Pit on Patreon.com is the only place to check out a complete archive of the old Dead Pit radio shows all the way back from 2005 on, in addition to the midweek shows, fan commentaries, exclusive podcasts, and much more. Dead Pit on Patreon.com if you're interested. Tiers start at only $1.
We ain't